temperature is 1.4 degrees and the minimum through the early hours was 0.4 degrees. Good morning. It is the 18th? 18th?
Yeah, possibly is.
Possibly the 18th of December. We are off again. Shopping for food, and we're shopping for, what else we're shopping for, Mr. W?
Should we admit it?
We decided this morning it's time to get the Christmas tree up because the family's coming tonight. So the Christmas tree, we used to have 4 Christmas trees, didn't we?
We did.
Ranging from a massive one that we bought when we first got together, which was lovely, but it took up so much room of the house that there was no room for people. So we got rid of that. Then we got another one, and another big one, yes, and that was fine. And then you gave that to your daughter
last year.
Was it last year? No, 2 years ago. And then we bought another 2. And one of them you had to assemble into lots of pieces, and the other one was a one that you just took out the box. It was already lit up, and it was supposed to, the lights were supposed to change. It had lights on it already. The lights were supposed to change. So I said, oh, could get the one with the lights that, if you want to just keep it easy, we'll just get the one you take out the box. So up he goes into the loft, comes back downstairs and says, there's no Christmas trees today. And I said, what? He says, there's no Christmas trees. So we
had to rack our
brains where they'd gone to. You went and looked in shed number 2. Not in shed number 2. Definitely not in shed number 3. And definitely not in shed number 1. So we decided that probably last Christmas we decided we were going to bin them. Why? I don't know.
We did, because I remarked when I went into the loft that the loft was much emptier than I remember it. And then, of course, it dawned on us that we'd done what we call a skip trip back in the summer, where we got rid of loads of old suitcases and boxes of rubbish and this, that and the other, and took them to the skip, and we'd totally forgotten that we'd been the Christmas trees.
No, I think we'd bin the one with the lights on.
We'd bin the one.
Yeah, but we binned the one with the lights on because
it broke.
It wasn't working properly, but it was still lighting up, but just the colours weren't changing.
Yeah, but it did take us a good while to remember all
And
this.
then the other one, which was lovely, I think we just decided it was too big to assemble, and we're getting old, we don't need a big tree to assemble.
No.
So, we've got the Christmas lights out, all the lights and things out, and we haven't got a Christmas tree. So we are on a little mission to see if we can find a decent Christmas tree that's not too expensive, that you can just take straight out the box with lights on if needs be. Well, we've got loads of lights as well.
Pre-baubled
if you can.
Pre-baubled artificial robotic Christmas tree. The one where you look at the box and say, right, Christmas tree, come out now, put yourself up, and it jumps out, and then it whizzes across the room, finds a corner, and erects itself.
Yeah. So they
complete with baubles.
So
and fairy.
I don't know where we're going to look for them. Do you know where?
We'll go to the range.
Oh, we'll go to the range. Right. We're going to go this way to Tesco's, and then we're going that way to the range.
Of course, we could have gone to Morrison's, which is on the way to the range.
I don't know if they'll have Christmas trees.
Well, they could have.
They'll have real ones, but I don't really fancy a real one. I've had that before. I went through a big phase year after year getting real ones with my children.
But you're still picking up the needles at Easter.
Yeah, picking the needles up all over the place, yes. And although I think the last one I got, I had to pay a lot extra, and in those days that was a lot of money, and it was for one that they told me the pine needles would not drop. And within days, even though I watered the bucket that it stood in, the pine needles dropped, and I got fed up with it. And I think I had a little dog at the time, a little Cavalier King Charles, and he used to go underneath the tree and knock all the pine needles on the floor. So we are not getting a real one. So we'll let you know what we get eventually.
So welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Scrooge.
Not really Scrooge. Well, not really. I'm not Scrooge, am I?
No.
Sometimes.
Not really.
So he often says, "Should we go out and get that?" I'm going, "Brian, we don't need to. We don't need to. We've got one."
Mrs. Scrooge.
Mrs. Scrooge sometimes, yes. Anyway, we're nearly there, so we'll turn off and we'll see you later. This is called The Clever Kidnapper. We had only just returned to 221B Baker Street when Mrs. Hudson came running towards us in a terrible state. "Mr. Holmes, we need your help immediately. It's serious. My niece's children have disappeared." Holmes completed her sentence for her. "How could you possibly know?" "I can deduct it from your manner. We must go to see her immediately." Mrs. Linda Haggerty was waiting to meet us. She asked us in and showed us a small room with 2 neatly made beds. A copy of Hercules Myths and Legends was lying on the table. "I came in to wake them this morning, Tom and Mary, I mean, and they were gone. Well, have a look at this. Oh, it's so terrible." She held out a letter. The writing was slightly smudged, presumably because she'd been crying. "I have kidnapped your children," Holmes read. "And if you fail to put 50 pennies in the box beside your shed, you won't ever see them again. And yesterday I was so cross with them because they'd eaten a whole box of Christmas cookies. Oh dear, they're only 8-year-old twins, you know." "We will find them, don't worry," Holmes said, trying to calm the desperate mother. "Could you show me to the shed and the box?" he asked. Mrs. Haggerty led us out to the garden where we saw 2 sets of footprints in the snow. It had stopped snowing in the night, and so they were clearly visible. Children had definitely passed this way. However, the footprints were heading in the wrong direction, from the shed to the house instead of the other way round. "Have you got the ransom money with you?" Holmes asked. I was surprised to see that Holmes was smiling. "With those 50 pennies they might not want to come out." Then he knocked on the wall of the shed. "Tom and Mary, you're 2 very clever children, but the game is up." Oh. So the 2 little children probably... Well, let's find out why they concocted that little mystery thing. And... it is... Well, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I think it's a lady. I'm wrapping a present, and number 18 goes. Where's number 18 go? So we're busy wrapping Christmas presents. Got a few there done. He's chief labour writer, and
I'm rubbish, and I'm rubbish at it.
And I just happened to walk past here and see the cat. Look at my cat.
That's not right, what way?
She's found a little place to hide. And it is number 18. Where is number 18? It must be up here at the top somewhere. 20. That one hasn't got a number on. 19. 18. There's 18. And it's a little boy playing a drum. And so, if we do this, come on. There you go. I don't recognise that one. I didn't know what they were, but But I've suddenly realised they're music notes. She's sitting on a music note. I thought she was sitting on a biscuit. There's another one, she's sitting on a music note. A semi-quaver and a quaver, is that right? Semi-quaver and a quaver. What was that one? That song was number... where were we? We did that yesterday, the 17th. We wish you Merry Christmas. Oh, I've never heard this one. Oh, du fröhlich. Oh, how joyfully. Oh, how joyfully. Let's find out how Holmes thinks that Tom and Mary are in the shed, even though their feet were going the other way around. I know. We waited, but nothing happened. Why would they be in there, Mrs. Hudson said. Is the kidnapper there too? Holmes was smiling away to himself, pointing at the footprints in front of us in the snow. Then he turned to me. Can you see what I see, Watson? He asked. I see small footprints, but they're heading in the wrong direction, away from the shed. Just so. Holmes really seemed to be enjoying himself. As I said, they really are two very clever children, and they know their myths and legends. He headed the few steps back to the house, and then walked back to the shed backwards. His large footprints ran exactly parallel to the small ones. Mrs. Haggerty gasped. Those two, she began to say. Don't scold them, Holmes insisted. It's exactly what the cattle thief in the Hercules story does. He makes the animals walk backwards into a cave so that Hercules thinks they've been led away. Did you see the book in their room? Also, a ransom of 50 pennies isn't quite the sum a real kidnapper might demand, don't you agree? At last we could hear the steps inside the shed. The door opened slowly and two children's faces peered out. Out you come, the two of you, Mrs. Haggerty called, too relieved to scold them. Let's have some tea and biscuits. There you go. They were walking backwards. I thought they had put the shoes on the wrong way and they were trying to walk backwards like that, but obviously they started at one end and walked backwards. I've done that before. Have you done that in the snow? It's quite exciting, isn't it? Anyway, I am not sure if I'm going to be around for the next 2 or 3 days because, as I said, my family is coming and we are going to go and visit my son and see his house and see my daughter-in-law who's been very poorly, and we're all going out for a meal to celebrate my birthday and my son's birthday, and so I might not be around. I can't promise that I will be able to put a vlog on, and this is part of the reason why I didn't think I'd be able to vlog, because it kind of restricts me doing things with the family. So I can't promise anything. Might not be until the 24th because I think my daughter is going away early on the 23rd rather. My daughter's going away early on the 23rd back home, so I might not be able to vlog until the 23rd and 24th. I shall try and do a catch-up. I might do some little quick ones to let you see what the calendar's like, or I might just put it all together at the end and let you see that. But we're going to have to love you and leave you and catch you sometime. Don't know about next time, but catch you sometime. Bye.